Hi guys, and thanks for tuning in. So Reaper of Souls Friends and Family Beta came out last week, and I waited like a bit to see how everything is evolving, because I was unfortunately not lucky enough to get a beta key to test things myself. So in this video I'm not talking about any bugs that are being in the game, because I cannot judge that if I have not played that myself, but I've been watching for like 25 hours roughly since it came out, and I made some notes whenever I saw something that I found rather strange or that I think could be improved, and I would like to share these thoughts with you. And I would like to know of you guys, what do you think about those thoughts that I had there? And give me your opinion about that. Alright, so let's start off with the bounty system. First of all, let me say the bounty system is really great. I really like that. We have a new possibility there to go to different locations, and we are being encouraged to go to different locations and do stuff that we would normally not do. So that is a really, really great thing, and I really love that. So what do I do not like about the bounty system? So let me explain something. So first of all, when you do all 25 bounties that you have 5 bounties per act. 5 acts equals 25 bounties in total. It takes roughly 1 to 1 hour and 30 minutes to complete all 5 of those. So what people actually do at the moment is they go through all 25 bounties, collect the 5 rewards plus the extra reward at the end, and then they're going to do this again, over and over and over again. So basically, since you cannot have unlimited bounties, basically this is also limited to a kind of variety that you have there. This will become very, very quickly boring. So after like 5 or 6 weeks of playing bounties, you will have played every bounty that is in the game. And then you will have to do them again, and again, and again, and again. And this is not the way to go, I think. So my suggestion is set a 3 hours cooldown for doing bounties, because that encourages players in the meantime to do something different. So you have 1.5 hours roughly that you cannot do bounties, but you can do other things. You can go to every act, you can go to every location that you want to go, you can find some new special places, you can do some Nephilim Rifts in the meantime. So you will have more variety if you have a cooldown. That is definitely something that I would like to see there. Assigned with that, I would like to see therefore a little bit an increase in rewards, because when you can not do the bounties so often, you should be rewarded a little bit higher than what you get now. So my idea for that was, if you do all 25 bounties, you could choose at the end an unidentified legendary or maybe a legendary recipe or whatever. So there's a lot of room for ideas. It's just for getting the basic idea of that. So the next thing is with the bounties, at the moment it is like, go to the location, kill 50 monsters, kill the monster that is named Y or whatever, and then you have clear a zone and complete an event. So those 3 are the main things that I've seen so far. Maybe there's other things. As I said, I haven't played it myself. I could only judge from what I've seen so far. But the distribution of those 3 is like 80-10-10. So that means you have 80% of the time go to a zone, kill 50 monsters, and then kill the named mob, whatever. Then you have 10% clear a zone, and 10% do an event stuff. So and this is where things get fairly quickly boring. So when you have those distribution of 80-10-10, a lot of the time you will have to just kill those 50 mobs, and this will become repetitive fairly quickly. So if you have those 3 things, you should change the distribution to a 33-33-33, so that you have a kind of equally spread out variety of those things. Since there are not those many events in the game, you either have to add some events to it, or you could use other things. For example, what I had in mind is go and kill some bosses. So what I came up here with is, for people that do not play the game that often, to give them a chance to get a guaranteed legendary, kill 1 boss once a week, and therefore receive a guaranteed legendary. So for people who do play very rarely, this is a very good chance of getting a legendary. Not a chance, but it is guaranteed. And it will also help those people who playing more excessively, that they feel more rewarded and have, again, more variety. Okay, for bounty tasks, instead of killing 50 mobs and the named mob whatever, you could make it like kill 20 melee mobs, kill 20 range mobs, and kill 10 elites. You know, this is much, much different than just go there and kill 50 whatever. You will kill 50 of the lowest things, and which are basically the fastest things to kill. If you have those variety in melee, range, and elites, then you will have to be much more aware of the situation. You will have to pay much more attention to what you're doing. You have to look up maybe the whole map instead of just run right through the target and there on the way kill everything and finish the bounty within like 20 seconds or whatever. Another thing that I found very interesting and very engaging is like go for achievements. Connect the achievements that you already have in the game, probably those that you're going to include into the game, with a bounty system. So at the moment, achievements are something very optional and only a few people do them because they're kind of not really worth it. You don't get anything out of it, but the kind of banner reward, which is, not that great, and almost nobody's looking at it because it's too minor, but I will talk about that in a few. So what I think is that if you connect those achievements with bounties, you first of all will get a much bigger variety for bounties, and achievements finally become worth something. So another thing that I had in mind for an achievement could be not only kill stuff, but for example, go to the Fields of Misery, look for the hut of that woman, go in there and buy the item X, like bracers or gloves or whatever. Yeah, whatever it's there at the moment. Or, for example, you could go to Act 3, go into the barracks just before the Fields of Slaughter, and lower all the bridges. For example, so that the soldiers can cross and go to the battlefield, or whatever the sense for that is. It's just some variety. Go to Act 2 and save 10 of the caged people just before you engage Magda. Those are things that would be something that bring variety into the game. And not only go there, kill this. Go there, kill this. This is very repetitive. Please keep that in mind. I would really appreciate that. So this were just a few examples that I had there. But let's continue. So next up, there is items. So at the moment, there's a good variety of items, and I really like those items. The variety of those items is pretty good, so it does not seem that everybody's dropping the same stuff, and that is a very good thing. But I had something in mind that could be maybe improved. I'm not sure if that is maybe too strong. It is just something that I had in mind when I thought about that, and I would like to present that to you. Basically, we are only talking about the endgame content here, and this is Torment 1 to Torment 6. So in those difficulties, the stat range, for example, on items could vary. So let's say when you play Torment 6, an item that drops could have a stat range of 500 to 950. On Torment 2, this stat range could be narrowed to 550 to 950, and so on, up till the stat range of, let's say, Torment 6, where you have 900 to 950. So this is a very close stat range, but since it is the highest difficulty that should not be beatable within the first month, or at least weeks that people play the game, this would be a very, very rewarding way. You still have some randomness in there, so you still can improve even if you find a very good item, but this will be really the highest reward that you can get, and this would be the ultimate goal to achieve. So basically, even when you play the lowest of the highest difficulty, you can be lucky and find something very good, but to improve that chance, you could go to the highest or higher difficulties and therefore improve your chance even further. Alright, so this is all I have to say for items. So since I hadn't had the chance to test this, I know that there are a lot of items that are kind of broken right now, like the belt that gives you basically invulnerability with a barbarian, or this hammer that drops infinite health globes, but those are things that are going to be fixed, and this is nothing that I'm going to talk about since I haven't played this myself. So I will leave this for people who have actually really played that and I will really concentrate on things that I could judge by just watching the game. So next thing will be the difficulty, and this is something very, very important to me. Let me make clear that I'm fully aware of the situation that we are at the moment in a closed beta for friends and family only with roughly 3,000 people. I'm fully aware of that situation, and I know that the actual difficulty is probably not the difficulty that we're going to see when the game is going to get live. But let me make very clear that I do think when the game is really being released with a difficulty setting what it is right now, no matter of how good the legendaries are and no matter how game changing, not game breaking, they are, the highest of highest difficulties should not be doable within the first weeks or even month of the game. Nobody, and I really mean nobody, with no matter what equipped he or she has, should be able to beat the highest difficulty. This is very, very important. You should not be able to go for a full clear of Torment 6 with all the acts, with all the bounties, with all bosses. This should be basically impossible unless you have really the best of the best equipment that is out there. What do I mean by that? So at the moment, with some legendaries and with some playstyles that are going to be fixed eventually, the game will eventually be kind of playable, right? But the difficulty setting, how it is right now, it is just not how it should be, in my opinion. So what do I mean by that? When you have a difficulty, it is not enough to just increase the health of a monster. Because more health for a monster and more damage does not mean that this is a higher difficulty, not at all. If you really want to improve the difficulty, and this is something that you now can do, so don't be afraid to do that. People have now the choice to go to a lower difficulty without having any penalty, so the game content is not any longer game blocking like it was in the old Inferno mode, like the original Inferno mode. You now can choose where to go, and the difficulty will adjust to whatever your gear is and how good you are as a player. What you should do to improve the difficulty, in my opinion, here are some examples that I came up with when I thought about that. For example, elite packs should have 11 to 12 affixes. There's nothing wrong with that. Since this is supposed to be the highest difficulty, there's no problem with elite packs having all possible affixes in the game. There is definitely nothing wrong with that. Usually a character at the moment has like roughly 10 million toughness. What I think is a random affix of an elite pack should do 2.5 to 3 million damage per second, which then means a usually good skilled player takes like 0.5 seconds to react to a situation. In those 0.5 seconds he will take 1.2 to 1.5 million damage, and he can react to that, and he can actually go out of the Desecrator, he can evade the mortar, he can evade whatever, the ice, right? So people will be encouraged to move around, to play carefully, to play in a group. For example, you have those great abilities of a monk, which gives you protection. You have those great abilities for the wizard that has crowd control, and so on. You are really encouraged to play as a group and in the highest difficulty, because it will be very, very difficult to play that with a single person. Furthermore, you could do a permanent life loss of 1 to 2%, which basically means you have to increase your healing. When you lose permanently 1 or 2% of your health, you're taking permanently damage, so you have to go for more healing, you have to go for health club bonus, you have to go for pickup radius, you have to go for more toughness. All those things really increase the difficulty. And this is really something that, again, encourages you to play in a group. Another cool thing, what I think would be if white mobs would have kind of an aura effect. So at the moment, white mobs are like kind of trash mobs, that's what they're called, and they don't deal any real damage, they're no threat. So what you could do is, you could add a kind of an themed aura to those white mobs. So, for example, in Act 1, you have a lot of zombies. Zombies are being dead. Dead is being assigned with poison, so they could have kind of a poison aura. So that means whenever you hit them or they hit you, you get being poisoned. When you go to Act 3, you have a lot of demons. Demons are from the Burning Hells, so they have a fiery effect. So whenever you hit them or you are being hit, you will be set on fire and take therefore damage. When you go to Act 5, you have those Reapers, and Reapers drain the life from you. So whenever they hit you, they will receive some life back. So they have kind of life steal to you. And Act 2 could be, for example, like reflect damage, because a lot of those monsters are being assigned with the deserts, and they are surrounded by like a sandstorm which reflects your attack back to you. And so those are things that really make the game more difficult. And yeah, this is really something that I think should be implanted into the game, and that should improve the overall game experience in the long term, not in the short term, and probably not for players who are only interested in like playing through the game once or twice and then put it aside, but for those people who are really encouraged to play the game for thousands of hours. And yeah, that is basically it. Also go check out my post that I've done on the forums. I will set the link in the description below. I really hope you enjoyed that video. And if you have some suggestions, if you like the video, go rate it, subscribe, and comment on it. If you don't like that, also show that with a thumbs down. If you like it, share it with your friends. And yeah, that's about it. And as always, guys, see you in hell.